Hi, everybody. Today we're starting chapter 2, and we're going to get into some of the biological foundations of behavior. We're going to look specifically at the brain, the nervous system, and the endocrine system, and some different genetic factors that may cause certain behaviors or mental processes. So the very first section talks about the nervous system. We're going to just look at a small portion of that, pages 42 to 45. I actually have packets that I have printed out with all of these note catchers for you, or graphic organizers for you. Hopefully that will help as we go through if you want to take notes on those. So we start off with the characteristics of the nervous system. So there are 4 specific characteristics talked about in the text. And the first one is complexity. And that's basically our ability to multitask. So our nervous system allows us to do multiple things at one time. Right now I am talking. I can also reach over and grab my soda and take a drink of my soda. I can experience, I've got a heater going over here. I can feel that heater keeping me warm because it's kind of cold in my office today. My eyes are adjusting to the lights in my office. And as you know, maybe a cloud goes over and it gets darker outside. All of these things happening at one time. It's allowing me to multitask. And this is because of the nervous system. The second area is integration. So this is the ability to connect information and make sense of it. So if you think about, you are experiencing, like you see something and you see a color and you see a shape, and you also maybe are smelling something that goes along with that. You're hearing something that goes along with that. And your brain integrates all of that information, all of those things from your senses. It integrates that and it creates one picture for you. So if I am seeing a certain color, like a brown color, and I am feeling something fluffy, and I am smelling wet dog or whatever, my brain is putting that all together. I'm hearing, like barking. All of those things come together, and that's going to integrate into that picture of a dog, and I'm going to be able to understand, oh, that's what I'm seeing. I'm integrating all of that together. The third area is adaptability, and that might also be referred to as plasticity. Our brains are plastic, which means it can change. It is shapeable, it is movable, it is adaptable. And so we can constantly learn new things. There have been a lot of studies about what we can learn and how long those windows are open for learning. So, I'm 46 years old. Can I learn a new language? Is my brain too old for that? Well, studies have shown no, I'm not too old. My brain can continue to adapt and change even as I grow older. It's a lot more adaptable and plastic when you're younger, but it still continues to make progress and change as you get older. So you're gonna hear that word a lot: adaptability and plasticity. And then the last characteristic is electrochemical transmission. So this is the fact that we process information through chemicals and electrical impulses. And we're going to learn about those as we go. So there's a combination. There are electrical impulses happening within our body, but there is also a chemical transmission. And when we're looking at behavior, we're looking at mental processes. Those can be affected when there is a problem in either of those areas. We have an imbalance of a chemical that could cause us to be manic. It could cause us to be depressed. It could cause us to be confused. If there is a problem with electric impulses, lack of electric impulses, or overabundance of electric impulses, now maybe we're having hallucinations, or we're distorting reality, or things like that. So those are important aspects of our nervous system that we need to examine as well. So we're going to get a little bit deeper into the nervous system, and you can see how I have this kind of put together on this note catcher, and I'm actually going to show something a little bit different. This little thing here, I kind of drew this picture that I think helps to explain the breakdown of our nervous system a little bit better when we talk about the divisions of the nervous system. Now, hopefully a lot of this is review, and you've had some understanding of this, although I know even in biology, you don't always necessarily talk about this as more of a human anatomy thing, but we'll see. So there are two different sections here that we talk about: the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. So we're dividing those out. Now, the central nervous system is very simple. It's your brain and your spinal cord. That's it. Your brain and your spinal cord. That's your central nervous system. That's what you need to know. But when it comes to our peripheral nervous system, there's a lot more to it. And that's where a lot of that communication happens. So our peripheral nervous system is broken out into two different areas: our somatic nervous system and our autonomic nervous system. So if you look to the left here, the somatic nervous system is what conveys information from your skin and your muscles. Okay, so skin and muscles are somatic. Autonomic is information from your internal organs. So when you're looking at your somatic nervous system, you have to look at your certain specific nerves, your afferent and your efferent nerves. Okay, so afferent nerves are carrying information to the brain. So that's your sensory information. Oh, I'm feeling something hot, or oh, I feel something soft, or whatever that might be. That information is going from those kind of outside senses to your brain. Now, your efferent nerves carry information from the brain to your body. And so that's like, okay, so my afferent nerves just said that I'm touching something hot. It's going to my brain, and my brain saying, you shouldn't be touching that. It's going to send that message through the efferent nerves to my hand to take it off whatever is hot. It doesn't want you to touch that. So it's a message center. That's where, your brain is the one making the decisions, but somebody has to send those messages from the brain. A good way to understand this or remember this, I guess, efferent, F is how it starts, and that is carrying information from the brain, from starting with F. So that's just kind of how I remember it. I don't know if that's helpful for you or not. Hopefully. So that's your somatic system. Your autonomic system, like we talked about, gives us information from our internal organs. So the autonomic system is broken down into two different areas: the sympathetic and the parasympathetic systems. Now I want you to think for a minute about being in a situation where you're afraid. So you're experiencing stress, and this is like the main focus of this system. It's looking at stress. You experience stress and you deal with fight, flight, or freeze. Those are kind of the three options there: fight, flight, or freeze. Your sympathetic system prepares for stress. Remember the S and the S, sympathetic stress. It's going to inhibit your organs to preserve energy. It's going to increase your heart rate so that your blood is going to flow faster, and it's going to be able to carry more oxygen to your brain. It's going to allow you to release adrenaline so that you can deal with whatever is coming at you, whatever that stressor is. So your sympathetic system prepares for the stress. It is going to make your body physically able to deal with whatever is coming at you. Your parasympathetic system is very important in this. This is the system that restores peace in your body. So now, let's just say an example. You're afraid of dogs, and you're out for a walk, and a dog comes by you, and you all of a sudden are in that stress mode. So your sympathetic nervous system is going to prepare you to fight or flight, probably, although you may freeze, but fight or flight. So it's going to prepare you to either run away or, I don't know, punch the dog, whatever it is you're going to do to defend yourself from this animal. And so it's got to have all of these systems within you. All of these internal organs need to work together to make sure that you're prepared to do whatever that is you need to do. But the dog's like, okay, you just seem like a strange person. I'm going to run away. So the dog leaves. Now you're still in this state, and you might find you're shaking. Your hands are shaking because of all of the adrenaline running through your body. Your heart is thumping. You're breathing heavily. You can't live like that forever. That would be awful. You just can't physically maintain that. And so you need something that's going to bring all of those back down to that kind of state of homeostasis where you are back to normal. And that's what the parasympathetic system does. So that's the basic overview, and that's kind of what it is. Now today we're going to read an article, and we're going to do some annotation and some discussion on this article in class. There's nothing due connected to this, but it is something interesting to read because it talks about some of the chronic stress that we deal with today. Now we all live in this situation where, you know, back in the day, yeah, you needed this. Now, not so much. You know, are we really faced with things that need us to go into that sympathetic system? Do we really need to defend ourselves from, you know, woolly mammoths or saber-toothed tigers anymore? No, we don't. But the system still works. And so even if the stress is perceived, even if it's not real, but we feel it's real, we get into that heightened level of stress. And sometimes we go throughout our day and we're constantly feeling that high level of stress, and it never comes down. And we never allow that parasympathetic system to kick in and bring us back down to a healthy level. And so now our heart rate is up all the time, and that's not healthy for us. Or we've got adrenaline running through our system all the time, and that's not healthy for us. So that's what the article is about, and that's what we're going to be looking at. Now, tomorrow we're going to look specifically at neurons and how those neurons send those messages. So when we talk about efferent nerves and afferent nerves, how our message is sent along those nerves, it's through the neurons. So we're going to be reading that next section, and we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. So as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, hope to see you all soon.